Well, obviously, as I told the team, I'm not sure we were as locked in and paid as close of attention to detail to the scouting report as we did for Friday's game. And granted, it's a one-day prep, but we let their shooters shoot. We let their drivers drive it the direction that they're strong with early in the game, and we were pretty sloppy with the basketball, and that can't happen. But having said all that, I thought we righted the ship. The guys that came in the game, Tyler Clement, Mitch Ballack, and Davion gave us a great lift after Taz and Marcus both got their second fouls. That was good to see that we can count on those guys to come in that situation and do a good job. And then the second half, I thought we tightened up defensively, got out in transition, made a few changes in the way we attacked their zone. And the guys attacked that really well. We cleaned up the turnovers. I think we had 12 assists, 5 turnovers the second half, and that has to be more who we are, not the sloppy play that was pretty common in the first half.
Questions for the student athletes?
In a game like that, I mean, sometimes I'm sure you guys are going to have games where it just doesn't flow correctly. What is needed to sort of flip it? Eventually you did, but what is needed, do you think, to get it going in your direction?
I think it's just our effort. I think second half we came out with the mindset like we had against Yale, that we were going to play defense, get out in transition. I think the zone threw us off a little bit in this transition buckets we usually get, but it's just effort with us. We have to come out and we have to give the high energy like we did on the first game.
Davion, what did you and Tyler try to do when Marcus and Taz are going to be out for an extended period of time, with more than 10 minutes left in the half, to kind of not only make sure that the thing doesn't break, but to make sure you rhythm?
Well, first, I think they did a good job of, as in the other team, did a good job, trying to find our weak spots and try to slow us down, because we're a fast-paced team. So once we noticed that, once me and Tyler noticed that they want to slow us down, we tried to find our own pace. They sat back in a 2-3, so we know we had to get the ball moving, which Coach was telling us. And once we found, some good spots in the zone, then that's when I feel like we started to pick it up.
Did you, Davion, think that you had to be more of have more of a scorer's mindset with that stretch there where Marcus and Taz were on the bench?
Yeah, when your two best scorers go down, someone has to step up and try to get the ball in the hole or try to find open shots for someone else. So I knew that was my responsibility once those two guys went down.
Marcus, how do you? I feel like sometimes it can be difficult for guys. They get in foul trouble and have to sit for a long period of time, and then maybe that can carry over in the second half. How do you make sure that didn't happen for you, because you definitely seem to be locked in after that?
For me, it was just staying in my routine. Usually when you get cold, you have to sit the bench the first half. You kind of come back and pushing your shot too much, or you're shooting flat because you're not warmed up. For me, I just stick to my mechanics on my shot. That's something I've been working on, staying more relaxed. Don't hesitate when I get up to the top of my shot.
I know we probably asked you about this. Maybe you're probably tired of hearing us ask you about it, but your efficiency, your shot selection, how comfortable do you feel as a basketball player right now, as a scorer, the type of scorer you're kind of becoming right now with the right shots to take?
I'm definitely learning how to figure out, the shots I need to take with what's best for my team. But, it's definitely hard for me, guy that has no conscience on his shots usually. And, I'm having to switch to a different role that I'm not used to. But, I'm just doing whatever it takes for my team to win, because I know if I do that, it's going to give us a better chance to win.
Two more for the student athletes.
I guess for just both guys, you're about to go on the road now, and it's a team that they bring back a lot of players from last year, and they had some success. What's it take to bring your best ball there and do well against a team that's obviously going to challenge you, maybe more than the other two opponents have so far?
I feel like it's gonna take all of us. Like tonight, guys on the bench stepped up and played well. And starting in practice, like our scout team did a tremendous job in the one day that we had trying to prepare. So I feel like that with these couple days that we have off and preparing, that as a team collectively we'll be fine.
I think it's going to come from practice, and, we have to prepare. They're going to be a good team, and, we're going to be ready for all their actions. And also the veterans are going to have to step up. Guys that, played last year on this team, we're going to have to be there and be better than we ever have before for the younger guys.
All right, thanks, guys. Questions for Coach?
Can you talk a little bit just about the versatility of your team? It's kind of been almost described almost as a weakness, trying to figure out who's going to play where, but it seems like you got a lot of guys that can play everywhere. So is that a luxury, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the challenge is, a guy like Mitch Ballack, has to play some on the wing. We may use him a little bit at the power forward. We haven't done much of that yet. But, there's some interchangeable parts there. Tyshawn Alexander can play the 1 and the 2. But I think it's a good thing. I think it's a strength of our team, and it was good to see that bench really create some separation the first half when really the starters were struggling. And then, the starters took over to start the second half and created the separation that we needed to put the game away. But, I think I said in the preseason a couple of those games that it would not surprise me if all 10 or 11 guys played, and that still won't surprise me as we move forward, because there are some guys that have the skill set. And like I said, Mitch and Tyshawn in particular as freshmen, it's difficult for freshmen, but I think they both earned the right to get on the floor. So it's been, it's our job as a coaching staff to figure out how to make that all work.
What did you see that Davion and Tyler did so well that helped you? I mean, you outscored them, but just with Kyrie and Marcus on the bench, that didn't seem like something that we would be saying.
Well, Tyler has such a great sense in how to attack that zone, and part of it is he's in his 5th year, and he's got a tremendous basketball IQ to start with, but he just has a pace about him and understands shot fakes, pass fakes, spacing, knows that it has to touch the high post, has to touch a short corner, and I just felt like our starters were in such a rush against that zone and didn't get the ball where it needed to be. And Davion hit a couple big shots, so I've told you all that I trust all 4 point guards, and Tyler gets 2 assists, no turnovers. Caleb comes in, gets 3 assists, 1 turnover, and is 3 for 3 from the field and gets to the free throw line and gets 10 points in 11 minutes. So all 4 of them bring some things to the table. It was good to see Tyshawn knock down a couple shots. Obviously, he's got some jitters being a freshman, but it was good to see the ball go in for him. But that group did a terrific job for us.
Did you like the way you guys came out in the second half? Obviously, you're going to have games where it doesn't always click.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to be perfect every game. Now, having said that, I expect us to at least be able to understand the plan every game. Sometimes they make plays, or they'll, you tell a guy, don't let him go left, and he beats you to the right and makes a play, or a guy that, that shoots it well, and you run him off the line, he makes a play off the dribble. But we had too many mistakes that were preparation mistakes early, and we have to clean some of those up. And a lot of them, to be honest, are guys that this is really their first year with an expanded role in the team. A lot of the mistakes weren't Marcus, Taz, or Toby, the guys that have been there and done that a lot, or Tyler. A lot of the mistakes were guys that are a little bit younger, or even guys like Ronnie and Teeny that have been in the program but haven't played the role that they're going to be asked to play this year. And with each experience, hopefully comes a good amount of learning.
Did you consider putting Marcus or Kyrie back in?
No, I mean, not in that. I mean, we play another game in a few days, and we want to have as few miles on those guys in February as we possibly can. As long as we're winning games.
But it is, I guess the silver lining thing, it's beneficial for them to go 10 minutes without those two on your team to play.
Yeah, it's great. It was a good experience for, when they're in foul trouble like that, the guys have to play. You have to play through mistakes. If you're in your normal substitution pattern and somebody's having an off night, you can get him out of there and go back with somebody else. But tonight, because of the situation, they had to play through some of that stuff. And I thought for the most part, Davion had a couple travels early, and he settled that down, didn't have any turnovers the second half. And that's how we need him to play.
How do you think these younger guys that are in different roles, expanded roles that you said, will handle the crowd that's not rooting for them?
Well, I mean, you have to do it. I mean, the first time's obviously the hardest, and you adjust to it. But I think as I've said before, Mitch and Tyshawn in particular, they're basketball players, and I don't think what they do is going to change if as the stakes get a little higher and as the pressure of being on the road shows its face. So, you have to go do it, and you learn from it. But I think we've got a good mix of experienced guys that have been there and done it. And Marcus and Taz and Toby and Tyler in particular have done a really good job of bringing this group along, because it's not just the freshmen. It's Manny that's new. It's Ronnie that's playing an expanded role. Martine is in a totally different role than he's ever been. And with that comes a lot of questions. And while the coaching staff can answer those questions, sometimes it's much more meaningful if it comes from one of your peers. And those four guys have done a really good job of leading to this team to this point.
Two more questions for Coach.
Overall, then, how do you feel about, with the whole team getting out on the road for the first time? Do you think you're ready?
Yeah, we're 2-0. It's as good as you can be, and I learned a lot of things from the film and the Yale game, and we'll study it tonight and see the things we have to improve upon before Wednesday. But we're going to be tested by a team that returns everybody back from an NCAA team a year ago at their place. So it'll be a heck of a challenge for us, but one that these are the type of games you have to play. That they'll teach you a lot about your team, and hopefully they become meaningful games when March rolls around.
Any last question? Thank you.
Thank you.